every individual, 7 billion people on this planet, one way or the other, they get disconnected from their soul at one point in their life. I always thought I was connected to my soul until I did Iboga. And then once I did Iboga and met my soul face to face, it was the most life-changing thing that ever happened to me. Once I made that reconnection, it was like, wow, man, I really feel at one with my soul. And there's a reason why these plants are here, preferably Iboga, because they are the conduit to the spirit world. And when you enter this spirit world, you have this opportune moment to wipe the slate clean and reconnect with your soul, reconnect with yourself, your true self.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Psychedelic Conversations. Today we have Chor Boogie in the house. He is the healer of the Bwiti traditions and medicine of Iboga. He's been working with more than 10 years. And also he's a aerosol culture artist and have been in the past 30 years. So welcome, Chor. So good to have you.
Oh, good. Thank you for having me. Oh, yeah.
So Can you tell us about your background? What brings you to this medicine, firstly?
Okay, so get prepared for this. Okay, my background. So I am an aerosol artist. So I paint with spray paint, and I do murals and canvas works, art shows, museum shows, done all that stuff for the past 30 years. And what led me to the culture, the Bwiti tradition was I would have to say my ancestors first, give them the credit, fair and foremost, but also through life lessons and trials and tribulations that basically led me there, through addictions and all types of other stuff, but mainly that. And I ended up finding my way towards the tradition, to the medicine, and the medicine ended up saving my life. And I think within the first 6 months after doing Iboga, I ended up going to Africa, doing a rite of passage and an initiation with the tradition, with the Bwiti tradition, and started studying and learning it for the past 10 years. And it's the Masoko Asangwedia branch of, I got to give credit to my master teachers, Binana and Mama Nunu, or Mama Mikodi. And I'm grateful for everything that they have taught me, this entire time, and I am I've worked worked my way up the ranks to a Ganga. A Ganga is considered in Westworld a shaman or a traditional healer, and it took a long time to really learn and study that path and that way to really learn how to heal people. But when it comes to healing people, you have to learn how to heal yourself first, and consistently work on yourself. It's like a lifelong journey when it comes to healing yourself.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Time gets better, and you're able to help heal others, or help themselves heal themselves.
So thank you so much for sharing your background and the information around the traditions of the Bwiti. So my question would be, what is the difference between a facilitator of the Iboga medicine as opposed to a shaman, a real Bwiti initiative, or the initiation part? What can you say about that?
Well, the difference between the two is that there's more extensive training when it becomes when it comes to becoming a Ganga within the tradition, because there's a lot more, or there's a lot to learn when it comes to this tradition, and versus being a provider, what we consider bonzis or initiates. That's the introduction to the tradition and to the studying, to the learning, and you have to work your way up the learning path, the learning curve, in order to really achieve healing abilities. And there are providers out there that are initiates and that have achieved a certain level of healing abilities, but there's many different levels. And according to the Bwiti, and once you start progressing and practicing and learning even more traditional pathways, especially with your master teacher, you're definitely going to advance within the tradition, within the culture, within your healing abilities, and that definitely takes time and practice and patience and dedication and discipline when it comes to learning how to heal yourself in order to heal others.
Yeah, I understand. So can anyone provide or become a provider or facilitator without going through the initiation, or is that a must?
No, it's definitely a must. It's definitely a must. Usually providers have made the trek or made the journey to Africa, and have been initiated into the tradition, and have done certain levels of training. But to let it be known, there are bandits within the culture, within the tradition that try to speed up the processes of training, when in actuality training is a couple years process versus 2 months. So there's a big difference there. And some people do go to Africa for this 2-month training, and then they think they know everything there is about this tradition and about healing somebody. And no, they probably just know a little drop in the bucket. So when it comes to somebody that is looking for healing, the best thing is to do your due diligence when it comes to seeking a provider and knowing the lineage that they come from and how long they've been studying with this medicine and working with this medicine and how long have they been healing people, is a major difference, versus somebody that just graduated within a 2-month period versus somebody that has been working with this for over 10 years. It's a
I
major.
understand.
So differentiation between the two. So it's up to the individual that is seeking the healing that really needs to do the research on who they're working with, and who they're allowing to heal them and help them heal themselves. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Yeah, this is great. So are you aware of the providers who've not been who's not been into any training, but they obtain the medicine from people, from resources that are not so legitimate and authentic, and then they start giving this medicine to people? I'm sure you are aware of those people.
Oh yeah, very well aware, and they are trained to a certain level, but honestly, they need more experience. They need more training when it comes to working with this medicine, and they need to know the differentiation from the things that they're missing when it comes to the training that they previous, or the training that they have, and the training that they're missing, the things that they're missing that are necessities when it comes to working with somebody with Iboga, and especially with somebody's mind, body, and soul. You really got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, because in the West currently, it's been really promoted as an addiction or recovery from all kinds of addiction, mainly known for that reason that people are seeking out. But of course, in your understanding, it's far from just recovering from an addiction. It's a whole spiritual path, right? It's a very different thing.
It's a way of life. It's a way of life. Iboga is a way of life. The Bwiti is a way of life. Working with this medicine is a way of life. And yeah, that's the package that's put out there, when it comes to marketing and getting people's attention, to be bluntly true about the perspective of Iboga and what people really need healing with, because technically that is a major upset, a major dysfunction, a major problem within, especially Westworld, but I'm going to say the entire world when it comes to addiction. But it's not just substances. It can be addicted. You can be addicted to anything, and but substance is the topic, is the subject, and and that's what a lot of people need healing with. But when it comes to working with this medicine is way, way deeper than that. So if I'm treating an addict, I'm going to treat him the same way I'm going to treat a person coming in for food addiction, or a person coming in for depression. There are slight differences from working with those topics or those subjects, but it's all going to be the same spiritually and mentally when it comes to working with this medicine and taking that person within themselves. It's all going to be it's all the same thing. They're going to go in and do the same type of work and the same type of healing from A to Z.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. So the symptoms may look like addiction, depression, and anxiety, and different things, but ultimately the root cause is pretty much the similar thing that they have to go through the process of addressing that.
Yes, that, and the objective is reconnecting with your soul and healing your soul, because it's like this. It's like if we tend to disrespect ourselves, ourselves are going to disrespect us back. So we have to unlearn, to relearn how to build a better relationship with ourselves, to respect ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually. Yeah. That's just the truth, and but if you tend to disrespect all that, it's going to disrespect you back.
Yeah.
So we have to learn the differences, and understand and understand that we need to develop better relationships with ourselves.
Yeah. From a spiritual perspective, do you think that globally people are actually suffering the disconnection rather than, because it's very easy in the Western world to look at the symptom and, put people in category of the suffering. But do you think it's majority about the disconnection? Do you see that?
Majorly, majorly on a major level. Yes, the disconnection is obvious. It's obvious, and we tend to find other ways and modalities to reconnect with ourselves, which are technically their ways. Just like the Bwiti and Iboga, it's just a way. These are just ways to traditionally help better ourselves. But technically, when it comes to the Bwiti has more longevity, has more history. When it comes to healing, and when it comes to the global circumference of things, when it comes to the disconnect, yes, I have to say yes when it comes to every individual, 7 billion people on this planet. One way or the other, they get disconnected from their soul at one point in their life. And it's not saying that the soul left. It can leave, though, spiritually. But the soul doesn't leave. It stays by your side, keeps you alive until you really find that way that's going to reconnect you to your soul. And to me, honestly, I've tried many, many, many different ways. And I always thought I was connected to my soul until I did Iboga. And then once I did Iboga and met my soul face to face, it was the most life-changing thing that ever happened to me. Because I always thought I was connected to my soul. And once I made that reconnection, it was like, wow, man, I really feel at one with my soul. I really feel at one with my soul. So, yeah, it takes a lot of practice in order to reconnect with your soul. And, and there's a reason for everything. There's a reason we disconnect. There's a reason we disconnect so we can reconnect and really find out who we truly are originally, who our original selves are. And there's a reason why these plants are here, preferably Iboga, because they are the conduit to the spirit world. And when you enter the spirit world, you have this opportune moment to wipe the slate clean and reconnect with your soul, reconnect with yourself, your true self.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Wonderful perspective. Thank you for that. What are your thoughts on trauma? And especially nowadays becoming very sort of mainstreamed. Does that come up a lot in your work? Is that something that is always focused on?
Could you repeat the question? What are my thoughts on trauma?
Yeah, it's now been mainstreamed, and also the psychedelic medicines are being sought after to heal the trauma. Yeah. Does that show up in your work?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's 110% a part of the work. But like I said, just like addiction, the package deal, these are all included in the package deal. Trauma, depression, anxiety, addiction, trying to find out who you really are, all the above. But when it comes to trauma, Trauma is definitely a reflection of self. I'd have to say a reflection of self, because sometimes we inflict trauma upon people. Sometimes a trauma is inflicted upon us, no matter what age. And it's something that we have to learn to accept, because notice when we go through these traumatic events, these are technically the only things that we really remember, really hold on to, because they're so traumatic and they are very impactful in our lives, and they impacted the mind to the point where we won't forget it, and then we want to come in and do the work. We want to come in and do the work to where, we think that these medicines are going to, just erase everything. That's not entirely true. The point of the medicine working with the traumas is to, like I said, to develop a relationship even with that trauma, and developing a relationship with that trauma so you can learn to respect that trauma, so that trauma can respect you back. And it's not gonna once you respect it, it's not going to torment you as much as you think it is. Then over time, as you develop a discipline of practice, with your trauma, with your relationship with your trauma, that voice tends to, or that memory, that voice tends to minute itself, because you respect it. You respect it, and you've developed a relationship with it to the point where it's not affecting you anymore, and these are all proven tools that can work. And the medicine helps enhance that, helps enhance those tools, by giving you 30 years of therapy within less than 24 hours, which glorifies the reason. The reason why these plants exist is to help you, help yourself when it comes to healing yourself. So, traumas, we all have traumas. I have traumas. I've had many traumas, and I've gotten to the point where I can laugh at a lot of my traumas, because I've developed a relationship with them, and I don't let them affect me mentally, physically, and spiritually, because that's my demeanor, that's my strength, that's my power, that I can do that, and even enhance that even more. So advice to people with traumas, yes, this medicine can help you with your trauma, but you still got to do the work. It's going to take practice, and it's going to take patience. Like, every day is training day when it comes to your mind, body, and soul. When it comes to your healing, your traumas, you have to learn how to get over them.
Yeah, this is great advice. Learning how to psychologically separate from that, and the association changes, so you're no longer impacted on a daily basis. Yeah,
Basi, yes, this is true, and that's the truth, and that's the Bwiti, is we live with the truth, and that's another part of the disassociation with Westworld, is that they don't want to live in the truth. They want to live in a fantasy. They want it when they want it, and versus a necessity when they need it, something that they need. You got to differentiate wants to needs. When you need something in your life, you need that change. You need to be the change. You need to accept the change. You need to trust the change. You need to make the change. Nobody's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
But you. Medicine can help enhance that, but at the end of the day, I don't care how much money you want to spend on a therapist, on integration, and I'm not disrespecting other people's gifts. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, whatever information you take within your mind, body, and soul, you're going to have to make the conscious decision to do it yourself.
So no one's coming. No one's coming. You've got to walk this path.
You got to walk it. Nobody's coming. You got to walk this path. This is a road less traveled. And the time is now for you, individual, me, you, anybody and everybody has to walk this path.
Yeah.
Like you got to walk that road less traveled to get to your destination, and it's the harsh truth, but it's the truth. No matter what, no matter how you like, I don't care how much money you have or how much spirituality you think you have. Yeah. This is the way.
Yeah. And it's been perpetuated with codependency in the Western model.
Oh God, beyond codependency and just greed, all types of characteristics that an individual embraces through their genetic makeup and through the things that they learn through their life, and being misled. You can't play the blame game on anybody and everybody because everybody's been misled. Yeah. Now it's time. Now we have this opportune moment, especially with these plants, especially with Iboga, to really go within and find the truth, the real truth. Trust me, I've seen it, I've experienced it, I live it.
Yeah.
And it's changed my life 110%.
That's so wonderful. I like the concept or the truth of the Bwiti traditions as the way of the truth.
The Bwiti.
Bwiti.
Yes, there you go. The Bwiti traditions, yes. And see, people would be like, okay, that's a cult, there's a dogmatic, religion. No, not even close. This is the Bwiti has been existing since the earth began. That's the philosophy of the Bwiti. Bwiti is the study of life. That's all. The door is open. You can leave when you want. No, we're not going to hold you against your will. No, this is if this is your path, this is your path. If it's in your bloodline, it's in your bloodline, ancestrally as well.
That's a great concept, and it's a very sort of truthful and inviting as well. It's very inviting to help the person become autonomous. I think this is the only way when we really take that ourselves. Yeah.
Basi, definitely.
Yeah. So could you talk to us about these Bwiti tribe and the traditions? I think by the end of this conversation, I'll be able to pronounce it properly. Okay. Talk to us about this, like your place in there, and like how you were welcomed really warmly. Did they kind of take you on, and how does it work if somebody wants to embark on that initiation?
Well, ancestrally, it's in my bloodline, the tradition. I knew it after when I did the medicine. I knew it before that. Because that's my bloodline is from Africa. I even went down a path, even scientifically, and did the genetic tests, and my genetic tests even lead to the Bwiti. The origins of Bwiti, which are the Babonga, which are the pygmies, where the medicine was founded, and the traditions spawned to the Bantu, which the Bantu is a part of my bloodline. So, and they were the biggest tribe in Africa at one point. So, usually when somebody decides to get initiated, do the rite of passage, they have the calling. And usually the calling comes when they experience the medicine. So usually one comes to our center, SoulCentro, in Costa Rica. They come and do the medicine, and then but I'll be able to tell. Because I can see it. I can see if that person is Bwiti or not before they even do the medicine. But we'll go in with the medicine, and we'll get the answers from the medicine. The medicine will let the person know if Bwiti was in the beginning of their ancestral bloodline, if Bwiti was a part of their bloodline. They will let them know if they are Bwiti. And then they'll have the calling. And then usually I'll say 99.9% of people that get the calling or get those answers from the medicine, they end up going to Africa. And I take people to Africa once a year. I'm actually leaving the beginning of June and taking a group to Africa. I take them every year to get initiated, do rite of passage, and then I have a bunch of other repeats that are coming back that are graduating to other levels. Bwiti, because they're taking it the distance. When it comes to working with this medicine, that is one of the major factors. It's not about the disturbances of the mind, body, and soul. The true disturbance is your mind. Your mind has a mind of its own, and that mind has a mind of its own. And you have to learn how to control that mind versus that mind controlling you. So we think we're in control of our minds in Westworld. And in reality, it's the other way around. And so the medicine shows you this. The medicine shows you and teaches you how to control your mind versus your mind controlling you. And that is the beauty of this medicine, And then along that journey, we'll find out if that individual is Bwiti. And so they'll end up in Africa doing an initiation and rite of passage, which consists of medicine and physical tests. And then they become Bwiti. And then we extend it, then they come back every year and they graduate to other levels. So when it comes to the Bwiti is the study of life as we know it. And like I said, the traditional branch that I come from is the Masoko Asangwedia branch. And they are considered the soldiers, healers of the Bwiti. They are the gods. They heal people with this medicine and many other medicines. So it's not just about Iboga with the Bwiti. No. There's over 5,000 plants out there that are considered medicines. But Iboga is the number one medicine with the Bwiti.
I understand. When you say 5,000 other, there are a mixture of psychoactive and non-psychoactive. Is that true?
Yeah. Mainly non-psychoactive, but these are medicines that work with the mind and the body, and mentally and physically, healing you ailments like illnesses, and we can say up from cancers to AIDS. They got medicines for it.
I understand.
If we want to take it the distance of illnesses, this tradition has healed them. I
understand. So if someone is initiated, can they just do it for themselves? They don't need to become healers. They can just do this for their own life and to live their own truth? Or do they have to be shamans and healers once they are initiated?
No. Once they're initiated and you're in, and it's for life. Whatever path you choose after that is your path. If you decide to get blown out of freaking cannons at a circus, that's your prerogative. That's your choice. I do have people that are still in the process, even after Africa. They love it. They love being initiated. They love the rite of passage, but they're still on their path of who they are. And it's not necessarily that they want to become healers. It's that, not at that moment, could be later in the future. But, they know how the miracle of this medicine, and they know that it can help people. So they at least plant the seeds, and that's healing enough right there. As long as they're planting seeds, they're like, well, this is what worked for me. Yeah. This is what worked for me. And they're planting seeds and planting Iboga seeds all over in people's minds. And that seed will grow.
I understand. Can someone from the rest of the world be initiated? Not necessarily from the lineage or the ancestral lineage of Bwiti. Can they, for example, myself, I'm not from Africa, but can I be initiated if I was to choose the path?
You can, but like I said, it would take you coming to do the medicine in order to find out. That's why that's strict rules from the Bwiti. Is like, an individual has to experience and see the medicine first and introduce themselves to the medicine to really know the truth. When it comes to working with this medicine, you're able to ask this medicine questions. You're able to ask this medicine any question you want in the world, and it'll give you the true answer. And if that's part of your question, when it comes to becoming Bwiti, and you get a yes, oh yeah, you're definitely going. But usually, like I said, people that do, they get more than just a yes. They get ancestors. They get, like, their first ancestor is Bwiti, the one that created their bloodline. They'll get all these telltale signs that yeah, I get. They'll even ask the question, do I gotta go to Africa? Tell them yes.
Right.
Yeah. See, you ask the question, because you think that you're not a part of the lineage. But it's something that you really don't know. You don't know yet. Nobody does until they actually do the medicine and find out. And then once they find out, they're either going or they're not going. Trust me, I have people that don't make it, don't make the cut, and they don't go, or they're just they don't have Bwiti in their bloodline.
I understand. Yeah.
Once a Bwiti always was a Bwiti. Is part of is one of the traditional sayings.
I understand. So I've spoken to a couple of another initiates, and what came to my surprise was that the initiation was done with huge amounts of the medicine till you're able to keep it in. Is that correct? I mean, what does it take for one to be initiated? What kind of capacity?
Usually, we can't really speak about everything that goes on in these initiations, because you have to go there and experience it first, and you have to find out for yourself, and there's secrets within the Bwiti when it comes to the knowledge. So, and that's what differentiates Bwiti versus other providers that think they know. So if they're letting you know about these traditions, they're not supposed to. So that being said, since they already told you, yes, large amounts of medicine is involved, you know, and that's not a secret because there are documentaries that are put out there about it. Yes, there is. There are, you know, large amounts, and you know, that's what it takes to be initiated, you know, and usually that's where an individual would find their name, their traditional name, and they're going in and doing a lot of self-discovery, and they're seeing a lot of things, you know. Yeah.
I understand. I
Yeah.
understand. So what about, can we talk about the harm reduction aspect? Because I did hear that it can be very not so good idea for somebody who has cardiovascular or health issues. What are your thoughts on that? Or does that come with, like, I know like some of the Western world are traditionally, you know, living in a very dysfunctional way can create all these illnesses and ailments. So therefore, you know, does it make it difficult for the people who are in the West to come over and experience the medicine?
Oh, what was that last part?
I said, does it make it very difficult for the Western people to come over to experience the medicine, just because they are on lots of different medications? And
of course, you know, see, Westworld has done some serious damage, not to just themselves, but to a lot of major parts of the world. You know, Westworld has a lot of issues, and mentally, physically, and spiritually. And they are stagnant, very stagnant in those problems, you know, thinking that they're creating solutions in ways that are healing, when most of them are actually making the problem worse, you know. So yeah. When it comes to a lot of individuals from Westworld, yeah, they definitely need to take the proper procedures when it comes to the medical preferences and medical logistics when it comes to somebody's mind and body. So that being said, in Africa, it's not as common because, you know, they are considered the doctors. The Bwiti are considered the doctors. So the spiritual doctors. So if one comes to see a shaman or a Ganga or a Nima or Bika in the Bwiti tradition, you know, that doctor is going to be able to see them and let them know if they're able to do this medicine or not. When it comes to the requirements of doing this medicine, especially if they're coming to do the medicine to get some healing, and then they end up in Africa, the objective for Westworld is to do the due diligence when it comes to the medical process. If you're approved, you come and do the medicine. You come and do the medicine at a center, preferably SoulCentro. You come and do the medicine here, and then you take it from there. Whether you're going to Africa or not, to even get even more spiritual healing, more healing. You know, we'll get you set up to a certain point of ultimate healing, a certain point of ultimate healing. But there's always room for correction. There's always room to add more healing. You can never stop healing, you know, and you can always improve it. You can always add more to your healing. You know, see, people think like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this medicine, and I want to depend on my expectations in my mind, thinking that this is a magic pill and I'm gonna be healed, and it's gonna change my mind for the rest of my life, that only happens. It only works if you work it, and if you do the work, and if you decide to listen to the medicine, and if you decide to allow your mind to change, mind, body, and soul to change. If you allow it, you got to accept it, and you got to know it. Yeah, I've seen it. Like I said, 99% of the people that come in here, they listen to the medicine. Then there's that 1% that just doesn't. Coin doesn't drop. They, may take a longer process for them.
I understand.
Or it may not even be their medicine. They may find salvation in some other medicine. Yeah. Because I'm gonna say that this medicine to me was the closest thing to a savior that I've ever experienced and witnessed, and throughout my entire life. And I've seen a lot of things, experienced a lot of things, tried a lot of modalities, and this is the one that I got the closest to the most high, the highest of highs, the closest.
Yeah, I understand. So what are your thoughts on why doesn't the coin drop? What is the resistance? Why is it so much why does it taint the experience, this expectation? What's going on within that person?
Stubbornness. They're stubborn. Their minds are stubborn, and they don't want to. They still want to live in their fantasy world, and they don't want to let things go. They don't want to change, because they're either expecting the medicine to change their minds, their life for them, when in reality it doesn't work like that. This medicine gives you the tools to help you change your life, gives you the tools to become who you really are. There are certain individuals, like myself included, the very first time I was sold and did not have a visionary experience. I knew something was happening. I knew something was going on in my mind, body, and soul. I could see a little bit of something, but I can also feel this something leaving me. And I can feel it in my heart that, oh man, this is something else. This is not of this planet, but it's here on this planet. And I actually went to sleep. Usually people don't go to sleep the first time they do it. I actually went to sleep and then woke up and was like, I love my life. Looking up at the sun. The sun was right in front of me, and I'm just loving my life. And it just felt like I literally unplugged from the matrix and woke up and shed this whole person and became a new person. And yeah, and I knew right then and there, I'm like, this is like the first wonder of the world, the very first wonder of the world. And it really exists. I'm like, the whole world needs this medicine. Drop it in the water. Drop it in the water ducts. So everybody drinks this medicine because they need it. But I had to change that mentality, because this medicine is not for everybody. And it's usually for those who are chosen by the medicine to do it.
Yeah. Also, would you say that those are the ones with the leverage? I have this idea that sometimes life will, pull the rug out under our feet. Therefore, we're less stubborn and willing to let go and do the work. One of my mentors said once, she said, now everything is so mainstreamed. All the wisdom is just given so freely. She said, like in the past, before the social media, the person, the life would prepare the person for initiation, and they will go and find the right teacher intuitively rather than on Facebook.
See, that is so true. Yeah. Because we are in the information age. This is the information age, and people do not realize or understand, overstand, and understand how dangerous that is. And people be like, well, that's pretty negative towards information. And I'm not saying not all information is good. You know, you can have information overload, and that's what we deal with a lot. Their minds are so strong because they fill their mind up with so much information. We do not realize how delicate our minds are. And the information that we put in there, we do not even realize that the person that's conveying the information to us, we don't even realize how fucked or messed up that individual is that's conveying the information and putting that information in your mind. We do not know. You have no clue, not even realizing that, not even thinking about that. That person could, who knows what that person's been through in their life, and they're trying to tell me how to change my life, or how I should be in life, or what I need to do for my life. But in reality, the reason why that person is telling this person that is because they had to seek another person's help in order to change their lives. And so who knows about that person, about that person's life, and what the impact they've had on their lives. And like I said, it's not tainting people's gifts. It's being real and realistic on what you are putting in your mind. What you are putting in your mind, you got to be careful on what you put in your mind. You know, there's spells within spells out there. There's spells within these self-help books. There's spells within these therapists called words. There's spells within these words. So, and we got to be careful with what we put in our minds. And we are not. We are definitely not, because we just want to consume and eat it and consume and just, you know, because we're addicted to information.
I understand.
See, and people would be like, well, and then they'll use your information. They'll use the information against you by saying that you are not educated, and you're not educated because you don't know the many different levels of what dog shit is, any factor of knowledge. So just because a person doesn't know about these certain standards of knowledge, they would be undereducated, and that is completely total nonsense. Total nonsense. And the individual that would try to convey a message like that to somebody needs some serious healing.
Yeah. Thank you for speaking to that. Really understand that and the implications of that and impact at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basi.
Yeah. As we're coming to end of our conversation, Chor, you are in SoulCentro, and I had the pleasure to speak with Elizabeth as well, your partner, and you guys are doing this incredible work over here, over where you are in Costa Rica. So you'll be off to taking people for initiations. And for our listeners, if you want to talk a little bit about your center and, you know, what would you say in advice?
Oh, yeah. You know, you can find us at SoulCentro.com, SoulCentro.com, SoulCentro. And we are based in Costa Rica. See, you know, the medicine, you know, one day it may be legal in the United States, or, you know, there'll be passageways to do this in the United States. But honestly, This is a jungle medicine. This medicine is from Africa, and Costa Rica is probably the closest thing to Africa, especially when it comes to a jungle. And the humidity, the environment it's so similar. And, it's better to serve this medicine in the jungle traditionally, but I'm not going to say it can't be served anywhere and everywhere around the world, because it can, it just has to be involved with nature. And this is where SoulCentro is at, because of its relation to Africa, Costa Rica and Africa, naturally through the jungle. And this is where we serve the medicine. So, people would be like, okay, that's too far to get to. That's it's too much money, or this and that. And I'm going to be like this. Okay. Especially when it comes to addicts, and that's addicted to anything. You would spend all the money in the world to feed your addiction, but you're not going to spend money to save your life. Now, how does that sound? Why do I say that? Because I was one of those people. I was like, I was flabbergasted. I was appalled by the price tag on Iboga, and having to go to Costa Rica to do it. And then I was told, well, there's no price on your life. There's no price tag on your life. Like it doesn't matter how much it costs. This is your life. It costs all the money in the world. You need to pay. You got to pay. You got to pay. You got to pay to survive. And that's because that's the way we made it. That's the way humans made it. So I had to pay, and I did. And now I'm here, and I'm still alive. And that is my words of wisdom when it comes to people thinking twice about trying to change their life and trying and needing something to help their lives, especially when I'm living proof and I'm here to plant the seed and tell you from firsthand experience, this works.
Yeah.
This works. So this is your life. This is your choice. And, I know not everybody's going to make it based off choices and decisions. And you have one to make. So trust me when I say, welcome to SoulCentro, where all your dreams come true with your participation.
Yeah.
So come. The doors are open. This is your life. We're here to help you.
That's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. Thank you so much. Sure. It's been such a pleasure getting to know you, and your work and your perspective has been
likewise. Oh,
really
yes.
refreshing.
These are good questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hope to have you back as well soon with maybe Elizabeth together. It would be lovely to have you and Elizabeth back in one screen in the future. I think it would be lovely to speak to
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We would love to come back. Definitely, for sure.
Brilliant.
We're definitely a good team.
Amazing team.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And wishing you all the best in your work, in your projects, and also thank you for doing this work for everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Psychedelic Conversations podcast is designed to educate, inform, and expand awareness. For more information, please head over to psychedelicconversations.com. You can also share with your friends or leave a review so that we can reach more people. You can also join us in our private Facebook group to keep the conversation going. This show is for information purposes only, and it is not intended to provide mental health or medical advice. Thanks for listening.